Hi everybody, Giselle Grenier here from artplace.ca. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a piece of miniature art, and it's going to have a holiday theme. And the focal piece that I'm working from is this little girl here. And I got this at Graphics Fairy. She's cute, and then I cut her out. So everything that I'm pulling for the design is coming from her. Well, there's not a lot because it's a vintage photo, so you're looking at beige and black. But we can throw in some other little things that really will tie the whole thing in place. To save some time, I've already prepared a card. You can use this as an artist trading card, a postcard, a front for a greeting card, or a piece of miniature art that you can frame. It's completely up to you how you use this. So to save some time, it's just packaging from a protein bar package, and I cut it out. And for this purpose, it's 3.5 by 2.5 or 2.5 by 3.5. So you could use it as an artist trading card or just cut it whatever size you want. I used Decoupage black gesso, Decoupage Media black gesso for the front, and Decoupage Media white gesso for the back. And you can see that I allowed some of the packaging to show through. It was no big deal. And I just used a big 3/4 inch wash brush for that, and then let it dry. So the first thing I want to do is, what's the first thing I want to do? The first thing I want to do is what? I want to stencil. So I'm going to be using Medieval Iron Accent. This is another Decoupage stencil, and I'm just going to put it in here. And the only purpose is to break up the back, which is black. And I'm going to be using the Decoupage Media Fluid Acrylics. This is raw sienna, and I'm going to use Titan Buff. That's already too much paint. You don't need a lot. Roughly equal parts. And where's my, and I'm just going to use my number 8 Bristle Bright. Kind of getting a modeled look here. And have a baby wipe ready, which I don't. Well, that actually looks pretty good. While it's wet, I'm going to put the baby wipe on top and just gently press, which will remove a lot of the excess. Don't rub. You don't want to smear it. Just rotate the baby wipe, and you're just removing. This baby wipe is really wet. Oh yeah, that's really wet. I just squeezed it out. And you just want to wipe out so it looks really, really subtle. And you can use the baby wipe to clean the excess. And if you have an art journal handy, just do the cleaning on the actual background page, because then you can get a nice design on it. Okay, put that aside. And the paper towel. I'm doing a whole series of miniature art because it is the holidays, but you can adapt this to whatever you want. You don't have to create a holiday theme. I'm just going to hit that just very, very quickly with the heat gun. Oops, there we go. So now I'm going to be using some paper, and I'm using music paper. It's from the DecoArt, their new Decoupage paper line, Victorian Romance. I am loving that line of paper. And they've got 3 different patterns in there. You can use whatever you want. And I want to, and all I'm using is scraps that I tore. I'm just using scraps like that. And I'm going to get that out of the way. My matte medium. Yeah, I can do that after. And I'm just going to use flat brush, and I'm going to apply layer of color to there. And now I don't remember where this was. If you get stuck, if you dry fit stuff, a dry fit is assembling stuff without actually gluing it down. If you dry fit stuff and you like the way it looks, take a picture of it with your phone or with your camera. Wrap that around to the side. And that was sticking out a lot more. You can use a decoupage medium as well for this. Right there. Make the edges uneven, create some nice interest. So you can use dictionary paper. I like this paper because it's semi-translucent. I will still need that. Now while that is waiting, we can prepare a few pieces. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to take this little girl and I want to, a little bit of burnt umber. And I'm using the, this is a dauber, which is a wood dowel with a piece of very, very soft foam on the end. You can always use a cosmetic sponge. You might have to use the edge just to go like this. Because it's so small, this is tiny, I have a bit more control over this because in where there's the cutout here, I can press this and there's not so much material on here that it will envelop. So I won't get too much of the paint on the side. This, I would have to be really, really careful. It can be done, it just would take me a little bit longer. And these are actually used for stenciling glass. So I'll do one part with this, and I'll do the other part with the cosmetic sponge. And it's hard to put too much paint on when you're using the dauber because it is tiny. So if you use a cosmetic sponge, just go at the end and just do this. I have to be much more careful with this. And right now I'm in a hurry because Joe is due to come back anytime now with Mia Moon Pie from their 10K walk. He'll come in, she'll come bombing up here, wagging her tail, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, I played with a whole bunch of dogs on Mountain Brow." And he'll scream up, "Want a coffee?" We had date night last night. We went to a birthday party and we were driving through Grimsby and all the houses were decorated so beautifully. I was just so inspired. And I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to just slightly darken the edges just a little bit more. We're going to bring it in just a little bit. I already put too much there. There we go, now it's perfect. Yeah, see I got a little bit too much there. A little bit too much there, but that's okay. What I was looking for was that fine vignette. Okay, so that's fine. No, it's not dry yet. Okay, then, well, while I'm here, I'm going to take the leftover and although the front's not dry yet, I can still do the side to get rid of the white edge of the card. Put that in water, wipe that up, put her aside. And I also got some at the dollar store. These I found, Joe didn't find these. These are fabric snowflakes. And I think I just want to, I'm going to do 3. I may not use all 3. And I'm going to be using the DecoArt So Soft Fine Glitter Fabric Paint for this. And if you don't have fabric paint, that's fine. You can use acrylics and just add some glitter to it. Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to use my teeny little number 30 round. just going to add a little bit of this on there. I've never used the So Soft glitter paint on stuff material like this, so this is my experiment. I like trying to do an experiment in every project that I do. The other thing that you can use is you can use put a little bit of medium on here and sprinkle some glitter on there. You can do that. I just thought that these were kind of cool because they were fabric. And the glitter I'm using is ice crystal. So I'm going to put these over there to dry. Put that aside. And nope, okay, yeah, might as well paint this. And for this one here, this is a new bottle. I'm going to be, this is a die cut. These are a whole series of die cuts that Joe picked up for me. And they're little wood pieces. They've got these stupid little foam things on the back. They drive me crazy because they show through. And if you pick at them too hard, the wood will break. These are delicate. Now, the reason why he found these for me, and I love them, is the burnt edge on the side. This says believe. You can use whatever you want, and I'm using for this the Dazzling Metallics Bright Copper, and I'm not priming this first because I like the transparency of the wood showing through. Whoops, too much. The wood showing through, the grain showing through the metallic paint. Now my brush was slightly damp, which thins out the metallics. I didn't want it to be too opaque. And just applying a layer, making sure I don't go over the sides because I want to keep that burnt wood look. Now, if you're using this for an artist trading card, it'll cost you the next postage rate up because it is thicker. So use your printer, go to a place like Font Squirrel or Fontaholic or something, and no, I'm a Fontaholic. The website's not called Fontaholic. And just use your favorite font. If you like typewriter fonts, Mom's Typewriter, that's what it's called, is really nice. Print it out on thick cardstock, and that way it'll be the price of a regular greeting card to ship. So the thicker the embellishment you use, if you're mailing it, it will cost more. All right, so put that aside to dry. Where are we? Okay, so we're here. So I'm going to do a dry fit now. So I'm looking at that. And I'm looking at that. And I'm looking at, are you little guys dry yet? I have no idea. And I'm looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Could either put them there or cluster them at the bottom like that. This needs something, and what I found is I'm actually going to put a little strip of there, and I got this, and I'm trying to think of where the heck I bought this. I don't remember. I like this here, so I was thinking about just wrapping it around. I really like that. I have no idea where I got this. I'm going to do that. So that's my idea. So let's put that there. Let me get a thicker piece. You can even use cardboard if you want. And I'm going to pull towards me, so I'll get that deckled edge on it. Like that. And let's go back to that burnt umber. Super thin, super thin. Oh, let me get some water on that. I want it really thin. Gonna work the edge first. And then just dry brush the excess well, it's not really a dry brush, it's a stain over the rest. And all it is just to break up that white that's there. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to take a baby wipe. Carefully, 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 just pick up whatever excess paint is there. Hit it with the heat gun. Doesn't take long to dry. So I'm thinking I could even put that there, that there, that there. I can even overlap that and overlap it in a way that the believe covers that. There we go, like that. Like that. This is ripped here. There we are. Matte medium. Let's put this together. And what did I use this for? Just clean? Yeah. Over everywhere. Over everywhere, over everywhere, over everywhere. Somebody asked me, sent me a private message, and somebody asked me why I don't do my videos really fast, like sped up. Because I can make the videos then, 10 minutes in length. And although all our time is worth something, I like having conversations with you guys, because a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, it's kind of isolated and I don't know who I'm talking to, so I feel like I'm having a conversation with you guys. On top of that, my primary goal in life is to help people express themselves, and the place I like to start, especially I like to start with beginners. And I start with beginners. They have lots of questions, so I want to try to cover off as much as I can in the video. In order to do that, you need to have a conversation with people. So that's why I don't speed up my videos. Actually, that doesn't look too bad just like that. So I'm going to do that. So the only things I speed up are where it's a repetitive task. Oh, and if I forget to hit the record button on my microphone, the actual audio from the video camera is terrible quality. So I have a secondary microphone, which is not placed in the optimum position right now. There we go. That's that. And our little chicky poo here. That there. And are you guys dry? Oh yeah, you're dry. Here. 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 And I think I want to use this stuff so bad. I want to use this stuff so bad. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I better put the glue gun on. I like that. So if I'm thinking... Now, before I do this, if I was using this as an artist trading card, I would finish the back first. This looks like snow. Yeah, I like that. That's what I'm going to do with it. Okay. And you know what? It's a good thing I said. If you're going to use that, you finish the back first. I need to finish the back. And I'm just going to use whatever I have, scrap paper. I still need to wait for the glue gun to heat up. other than these two things that I actually, well, these are specifically for the project, everything else is just stuff in my stash. You don't need to go out and buy a whole bunch of new stuff just to create this. If you're watching this video, you likely already have some type of coloring material in your art toolbox in the form of either paint or watercolors or pencils, or some type of product to make color. And so use what you have. You don't have any stencils, if you don't want to buy anything new, just make something out of packaging. Use stamps. You want to make it fun. You don't want to make it frustrating and think, oh my god, I have to spend $50 to buy these supplies to make this. Use what you have. I'm a DecoArt helping artist, which is why I use DecoArt products. So, and their stuff is phenomenal. Let me put that there. And I'm just going to lay that right here, and just using paper scraps. Just use the scraps. Don't throw anything out. Well, you know what? Okay. Don't throw anything out. As long as you use it. There's stuff that I say, oh, don't throw anything out, and then it's still sitting there 3 months later. And I just used the angle side of the brush. Oh, that was another question somebody asked me. Why are you using these black brushes instead of the Aqualon brushes? And I've never used these majestic brushes for mixed media. I've always used them for my portrait work. They're still acrylic handle with the tapered end. They're a little bit softer. So that's that. And oh, you know what would be really cool? I let this dry. So with the back being finished like this, you can stamp it. If you bring this in trading card, you can actually stamp it with that, or some journaling lines, and write your information on there. I'm going to leave mine actually blank. Glue gun's ready. And just do another layer like this. Finish the edge. You can use whatever color you want. Burnt umber is a nice color. Transparent red iron oxide is what I usually use. It's a little bit strong for this. Burnt umber, you won't go wrong. Burnt umber and raw sienna, if you want it softer. Transparent red iron oxide and transparent yellow iron oxide if you want it stronger. Just using a double-sided pouncer. You can use a cosmetic sponge for this. My cosmetic sponge is wet, so I'm not using that. Somebody, and I won't name who, grabbed everything. I have my container under my desk, and grabbed everything and ran away with it. She didn't eat them. She didn't eat it, but they're not usable anymore. Alrighty. That's that. And I'm going to take some... Now, what is this one? This is Orange Flicker. This is the Wax Metallics. Taking it right in my dirty sponge, and I'm just adding a shimmer of this on the edge. Because it's on the dirty sponge, the burnt umber kind of knocks down the intensity of the orange, but you just see just enough. And just add a little bit in here. And if you're using this stuff whole, like pure, you have to burnish it to make it permanent. So this step, what I'm doing here, because I'm just grunging up the back, it is going to be permanent. And the more you burnish, the shinier it gets. right, done with that, done with that. I use the knife on my unstick mat and I cut it. I'll have to get another one. All right, Chicky Poo. So I want to put her down first. Put her down first. That just sounds so mean. Put her down first. That sounds wrong. Sorry, little girl. And you can see that I'm using many layers of the matte medium, and I will put it over everything. It just gives extra protection. And also, the more layers of medium that you put down on your piece, it creates multiple layers and more light shines through, making your pieces more luminescent. She's so cute. Use the flat side of the brush. Now, if you don't have a brush like this, you can also use like a texture tool, and you can just press. This is flexible plastic. This is part of the texture accessory kit from Decoupage, and it doesn't cut any of the pieces. It's really, really flexible. But the angle part of the brushes work really well. Okay, I am going to keep that because I'm not going to use the glue gun for this. I am going to use the glue gun for this though. And just going to put just a little bit in the thicker parts of the cutout. I'll be able to pull a little strands. Okay, I'm going to move this down a bit because I need to really fit this well. I actually should have moved the little girl down a little bit further so she wasn't covered with her hat, but that's fine. It adds a little bit of contrast in there. Just wrap that. Oh, I love this stuff. Love, 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 love. Yep. So I'll cut that. That's about how much I need here. And there is a direction to it. I could actually just cut it and put it on here, but I thought wrapping it around would be kind of nice. I thought wrapping it would have been kind of pretty. Again, when you do stuff like that, when you wrap and make it nice and thick, don't forget if you're sending this in the mail, it does add a cost to the postage. Oh, somebody's home. So I'm going to let that matte medium dry right in there. Fluff that up. Gonna put that up just like that. So I took little tiny rhinestones and glued them to the fabric snowflakes. Took a bit of time, but I just had to be really, really careful, and all I did was pull them off this type of thing. I mean, they're tiny, and put some glue on the stone, then press it onto here, and then it turned out really well. So you can see how tiny they are. I gotta wash my hands. Now I'm going to use some Decoupage matte medium, and I'm going to use a tiny round brush. Oh, I want to dry fit first. Hold on. Dry fit. Just like that. I was going to use a glue gun on that, but these little fabric pieces, I don't know. They seem to have a little bit of a coating on them. I didn't want the glue coming through. Oh, I can hear Chaos. She's crying. I'm lonely. Just offset them a little bit. There we go. Press those down. And that's it. She's finished. And the back, and fluff that out if you want. That turned out really, really pretty. So I like that. So that's it. She's finished. And you can do whatever else you want with it. I mean, I was thinking about using some shimmer mister to add some snowflakes now, but I think it's simple. It's simple, and I think I'm going to leave it just the way it is. You don't want to overcomplicate it. And these little miniature art pieces are meant to be fast and fun, so you don't want to overdo it. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this. I would love to see pictures of what you create. Please feel free to email them to me or share them in my private Facebook group. Links to both of those are on my website at artplace.ca. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any videos. And give me a thumbs up if you found this to be inspiring. And comment below if you've ever made miniature art like this, and give me some ideas of what you'd like to see. Alrighty, so I'm going to clean up and prepare for my next project. And until I see you next time, stay inspired.